The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Happy Friday, and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we analyze and deconstruct the latest news pertaining to your health, fitness, and diet, where we break down what we hear and see if it makes sense to us. And we encourage your participation by getting my Health Signals newsletter, picking up some Primal Edge, and, of course, calling us at 877-927-6648. This is Paige, Clarke, and I'm Nico Haan, and it's a beautiful day here in downtown Clearwater. It's like 64 degrees, clear skies. It's cold by our standards,
yes,
but it's nice.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what I was just thinking? I love our intro song. I don't know if a lot of people know you wrote that song.
No, actually, my friend Rick.
Oh, Rick, that I met at the party.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He wrote it.
So,
we played it.
But it was something that you guys played together.
Yep, something that.
So it's special.
It's very special, and the outro is also one of his.
Oh,
I was going to pick one of mine, but I just like his music so much that I figured, what the heck.
Well, the holidays are coming.
Yes,
and
they
like
are.
we were talking, I'm going up to Tennessee to be with my sister and her husband and their new baby. And I'm taking my daughters and my new grandbaby, and we are going to just go up there and have like a little powwow and enjoy being in the mountains. I always like
going up north a little bit, because then you really feel the cold more, and it feels like it's the holidays to me. So
Well, you saw this article, What Does a Duck Eat Anyways? Because we were talking about a duck.
Yeah, let me put it on.
That's interesting, because Nico is being very non-traditional, or maybe he is actually being traditional.
Well,
and instead of a turkey, you're having a duck, right?
Yeah, and this kind of started because, of course, my sister passed away last year, just before Thanksgiving.
I remember that.
And the tradition was always going up to Tallahassee to see her and the family, and that was no longer doing that. So we decided, let's just break with tradition, and we like the dark meat of the turkey, and that's really what the duck is all about. And it's really simple. A 5 or 6 pound duck, you split it in half, put it on each plate, and it's really easy. But I was really interested in this article because I was unsure what ducks were eating. So
it says they're omnivorous birds that will eat a wide variety of foods and a varied diet, providing good nutrition for healthy duckling growth, feather strength, muscle development, breeding success, and more. Sounds like we should be following what the ducks are doing.
Pretty much.
In fact, we actually are.
Yeah.
From a primal primal back to ancestral eating.
Yeah, so they eat small fish and fish eggs, snails, worms, mollusks, grass and weeds,
a little algae there.
Yeah, which is good. Frogs, of course, salamanders, other amphibians,
and insects,
aquatic land insects, seeds and grain,
and the occasional small berry, fruit, and nut.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Kind of sounds like what we're trying to tell people they want to take a look at.
Yeah, and of course, if they were eating grains, they wouldn't be eating them all year, because in the wild, the grain, the seed of the grass seeds only is there for a couple of weeks.
They can only eat what's on the menu.
Exactly.
And
another thing. That's why, folks, we just really want you to be aware that these birds that we're buying as food, really important that they're eating what they would eat naturally, because if you start feeding them grain, a few things happen, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. They're not the same animal.
They're not the same animal. Of course, if they're confined, they don't have the muscle growth.
Right. They have an unusual fatty acid profile for the grains.
So what happens is your omega-6s go up dramatically, and your 3s pretty much stay the same, but that 6 raising really skews that omega-3 ratio, which is really 3-to-1 to 1-to-1 ratio is prime for us and all the animals. But when we start feeding them grain, depending how much we feed them, that 6 goes up to 13 to 15, sometimes to 30.
Right.
As a ratio between the 6 and the 3. So they're very bad, but they're also highly acidic. And they're usually sick in some form.
Oh, usually because they've been in confinement.
Right. Because as we know, when you're eating lots of vegetables and not the protein, and your body is not set up to do that like a cow is that has numerous stomachs.
Yeah, has a processing plant for those types of difficult to digest.
Then what happens is you get a lot of turmoil in your stomach, and it's the stomach acid is not the thing that really digests that.
Cellulose, right? Exactly.
It doesn't break it down. You have to have other things in there to break it down. Hence, we take prebiotics
and digestive enzymes to help for things. Yeah. In addition to the nutritious foods that the duck eats, I really liked. I want to make this point. Some ducks will also eat sand, gravel, and small stones to provide grit to aid their digestion. Now, this is not unlike this grit may actually provide trace minerals as a part of an overall healthy diet. Now, folks, in my natural clinic, people that are working on their digestion, one of my recommendations is clay. Okay. So, and the way I'm having people do it is carry it in their purse and open a capsule in their water. And, say you're ordering at a restaurant or you're getting ready to eat, and as you're eating your meal, again, we're not usually drinking a lot of water while we're eating. We want to keep the digestive fire, but go ahead and have that clay. The clay that I use is very attracted to positively charged particles, such as pesticides, chemicals, sprays.
And
bugs,
kind of
parasites.
Encapsulates it and kind of helps it
get out of the body. So these animals that we've seen that have gone to clay licks, traditional cultures included a little clay. They would, where it was available. So I thought, again, we just look at nature, and nature will teach us everything we need to know. Yeah, it's a great thing.
Another article here, could the fruits and veggies you love be destroying your health? And I thought this was interesting.
Kind of nice after that follow, because what we were talking about is that, even some of the vegetables and fruits that we all know and love can be difficult to digest.
Yes.
And particularly in a raw state. Onions, garlics, apples, asparagus, sweet potatoes, and Brussels sprouts. Those are some of my very favorites.
Yes, me too.
One of the main reasons that cooking like these Brussels sprouts and so forth is so important, because it kind of helps to break down that cellulose fiber that most of us don't have the enzyme to help break down.
Right.
And then what results, according to recent research, the foods listed above may contribute to painful and embarrassing functional gut disorders, including bloating, irritable bowel, diarrhea, and gas. So, good to know. Understand, there's a lot of good nutrition in these fruits and vegetables.
Yes, there are.
But there are reasons that even in traditional cultures from Tibet and in the East, often recommend a cooked diet of vegetables and fruits. And we're coming into that season where that's really easy to do.
Yeah.
Some stewed apples with some cinnamon and nutmeg to kill parasites.
Yeah, yeah. And fruits and vegetables are a little bit different. Fruits, I would recommend really cleaning them well.
Yeah.
Because they're more susceptible to being sprayed than your organic vegetables. Vegetables, especially the roots, I think you can clean them, but don't scrub them too hard, because if they're organic and done in good soil,
we want those soil organisms.
We want those soil organisms. The whole thing behind what we have here in the Primal Edge is the soil-based nutrition, and so that's why it's so important to get the soil nutrients in what you're taking, whether it's the food or whether it's a supplement like we have in the Primal Edge.
And let me explain. This is just such a powerful food source that we've put together here. Nico just hit it on the head. This is soil-based nutrition. This is based in a bath, in a base formula of fulvic humic acids, which are what are created when nature and element are combined. And in that, we get highly absorbable, highly effective nutrition. Most everything that we have in there is completely 100% absorbed because of the power of the folic. You just aren't going to get that, folks, if you're not getting a nutritional product. Minerals are very poorly absorbed in capsules. I very rarely recommend anyone take any minerals in their capsule form. Get them from your foods and get them from something that you know that your body can use.
It really makes a lot of sense. And, these vitamins and minerals that we have in the Primal Edge are ionic. They kind of vibrate.
They have a negative charge.
They have a negative charge to be accepted by the cells that have a positive charge. And the good stuff comes in, and it allows the bad stuff.
You got it. The positively charged, just like I said, the clay is another helper.
Right.
So
and maybe charcoal.
Charcoal is another thing. I prefer clay, but charcoal and clay, the same thing. I know a lot of people are doing that because the clay has other minerals in it. So might as well get both bang for your buck, and
that makes a lot of sense.
So the fulvic, as we've talked about Primal Edge, actually helps to create that zeta potential on the cell membrane. And if you can think of our cell membranes as being the gatekeepers that, as Nico said, helps us to escort the nutrition into the cell, helps us to escort the waste out. We're really creating a wonderful functional body because really it comes down to cell health.
Yeah, it really does. And I've had a lot of good comments from my clients who are taking the Primal
I've had
Edge.
people call, and I hope you all have done that. Don't forget that you can use Tiger Dollars to get access to Primal Edge. So, folks, why not? Get going on it. Keep your body strong. Cheap insurance. I mean, even Dr. Wallach, and he has his own line and stuff, but, like he says, dead doctors don't lie. Some of these people that dropped dead, they died from a mineral deficiency. And yet we've got mainstream doctors telling people, oh, that's just expensive, you pee them out, whatever. Well, again, they're talking about a lot of the synthetic, isolated, processed, petroleum-derived nutritional products. That's not what we have here, folks. What we have here is what we use for ourselves and our family and our loved ones, and we hope you're going to come join us and get your bottle of Primal Edge.
Yeah. Something I'm doing is I was looking at my roof. I have a couple of areas that, like around the soffit, are a little bit rotten, just water damage, no insects in there or anything like that. So I had a roofer come out, a friend of mine, who's a jiu-jitsu buddy, and real good roofer. And we looked over the thing, and he says, well, here's what the price is. And then I started thinking about, my roof has lasted like 16 years. And they last typically 15 to 18 years here in Florida, the asphalt shingles. And I thought, do I want to do this again at 85, 86?
No.
So I thought, maybe we'll discuss something like a higher quality roof, which would be a metal roof that lasts 50, 60 years.
Right.
So we're doing the pricing on that.
Of course, because you're going to be around.
Yeah, and not only that, I don't want to do this again at 85.
Yeah.
And plus, they're a lot better in hurricanes and the type of weather we have in Florida. So I started pricing them out, and of course, my buddy gave me a good price. But then
I like the look.
It does look really,
especially in
really
Florida.
nice. Yeah, I know.
Kind of adds that little...
And we're going to, our house is kind of orangey, melony color, and we have the emerald green doors. So I was thinking emerald green on the roof would look really classy.
Oh, yeah, true.
But I called a few other companies because I wanted to really educate myself, first of all, by going on the web and doing my education on it, but also to get other bids. And, well, a nice guy came in about $3,000 lower, so I thought, well, let me get a reference from him and look at one of these things. It really pays to look at what you're going to buy. I went by this house, it looked like a piece of crap.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, boy, I don't want this kind of roof on mine. Now, this might be, it's a kind of a poor
Was it a bad
house.
job, or you just didn't like the look of the metal roof?
I didn't like the look of it. I didn't like the materials.
It might be on your architecture. It just isn't right.
It could be. So I'm going to look at a couple more. But it's just pays to do your own research. What we say every day here on TFNN, do your own research on food.
Right. Self-sufficiency.
877-927-6648. Take time to pick up my Health Signals newsletter and some Primal Edge. And Paige and I'll be right back. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Thinkorswim, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle. You know, Paige, one of the things that we hear a lot about is that if you want to think about being very primal, if you want to be healthy, if you want to take care of the environment, if you want to be mindful and be humane, you must be a vegetarian or a vegan.
I know, and you know, it's such a tough thing because I know that my friends and colleagues and so forth that really have that in their heart. You know,
yes.
It's really at their core.
Yes, it is.
However,
and you know, let me make one statement first. We're not here trying to convince you to, if you're a vegan or if you're a vegetarian, we're not here to convince you that you should switch. If it's working for you, I say go ahead and keep on doing what you're doing.
Right.
I just want the people to understand that from an environmental look at it, you're killing a lot more species of animals if you're doing a vegetarian diet, because when you start farming, you start really killing the whole environment just to plant that one little crop.
Yeah, an interesting article in theconversation.com. Ordering the vegetarian meal, there's more animal blood on your hands. So this came out of Australia, and really kind of gave you some food for thought, no pun intended, about what happens to the environment and the animals that live in that environment, particularly when we're doing monocultures and we're clearing land for particular, Australian cattle eat mostly pasture, reducing their environmental impact.
Right.
You know,
And also they're recycling themselves because they're out there pooping and they're out there eating, and it's just a nice big chain of events. And if, I have a problem with just cattle being in one spot, but if it was more of a wild thinking, if you're a vegetarian, let's go get wild plants. And then your chance of being healthy is going to be a lot better than you're eating, the normal 5 or 6 vitamins or vegetables and fruits that you're doing, or maybe you're eating a dozen, but our ancestors used to eat hundreds. And variety, I think, is the key to being healthy with fruits and vegetables. It's healthier because, first of all, seasonal is important. So you have the certain fruits or vegetables that are seasonal, and then the ones that are also local.
Right.
So then you're in touch with your environment. And then, of course, they have to be grown in a wild setting, which means automatically, in most cases, they would be organic. There may be some cases if you're next to a sawmill or a paper factory, some of those vegetables might not be too, or wild plants might not be too healthy. However, in a wild setting, it's always. So I think my mindset is always going, how can we make more things wild instead of making more things domesticated, whether it's animals or plants or even humans. That's what I've often said.
And, this guy kind of explains a little bit, just to kind of give you a taste of what we're talking about. He's talking about grain production in Australia. Each area of grain production in Australia has a mouse plague on average every 4 to 5 years, with 500 to 1,000 mice per hectare. Too many. Poisoning kills off 80% of these mice. At least 100 mice are killed per hectare per year to grow grain. Average yields are about 1.4 tons of wheat per hectare. Only 13% of this wheat is actually usable protein. Therefore, at least 55 sentient animals died to produce 100 kilograms of usable plant protein, 25 times more than for the same amount of rangeland beef.
And then, thinking even farther than that, then you're producing mice or rodents that are unhealthy.
Right.
So then they're going through that whole process of pooping and urinating everywhere. That's unhealthy. It's fertilizer. So the cycle really gets weird.
Itself.
Yeah, it repeats itself in a bad way. When we encourage wildness, then we're having lots of different animals and lots of different plants, and then you don't have the droughts, and you don't have the pesticides, you don't have the scourge of the land that comes with that one certain bug loving your wheat farm.
Right.
So you don't have the devastation of these plagues that come about.
And there's a further issue to consider regarding the question of sentience. What is a sentient being?
Sure.
The capacity to feel, perceive, or be conscious. You might not be thinking that billions of insects and spiders killed by grain production are sentient, but they perceive and respond to the world around them.
And so do plants.
And that's another article, maybe we can talk about that when we come back from the break.
Yeah, I think so. Because,
research shows that your plants feel pain and feelings. So, we can take this to a different level. But, folks, here we're talking about primal, and the word primal to me means first things first. And the first thing you want to do is get knowledgeable about what's going to keep you healthy. And that's what we're here to do.
That's right.
Help you be wise and make good choices.
Yeah, so give us a call, folks. The number is 877-927-6648. Please take time to look at my Health Signals newsletter. We have a sample up there. We're going to put a new sample up, I think, next month. And pick up some Primal Edge. Do some research on it, and you'll find that you'll think this is a really great product, as our Tiger and Tigers are
telling us.
Yes, indeed. Stick around, folks.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8888. 8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, Tigers and Tigresses. I'm Paige Clarke, and with Nico Haan, and we're living a primal lifestyle.
Yep.
So we've been talking a little bit about plants and what might not be there might be some dangers in eating plants, you know, some of the things that might interfere with digestion. But guess what? Plants can hear themselves being eaten. According to BodyMindSoulSpirit.com, Greg Prescott, he's the founder of In5D, which is a website that I like to read a lot about, but indicates that a small flowering plant can hear the vibrations that caterpillars trigger when they chew on its leaves. According to a new study, the plant can hear danger loud and clear, and they respond by launching a chemical defense.
Yeah, and that, there's an actual study on this with this one plant called
Dopest Falania.
I'm not too good with pronouncing things. Thank you very much. So when you think of it being sprayed with a poison, when you think of it being injected, say a seed or something being injected and made to grow with a different species of plant, or maybe even an animal gene inside it,
right,
and then coming out, there's got to be some interaction there that you would think, just from the study.
With the plant's consciousness.
The plants, maybe not even, we wouldn't say maybe consciousness as we are conscious.
Right.
But certainly we know that there's a certain inherent behavior system in every living thing that does it automatically. Remember, we talked a few weeks ago about if we are just left alone as human beings and don't have the authority of the church or the political realm, then we self-organize into a much better system.
A tribal system.
A tribal system that has been
based on
around.
Cooperation.
Yeah, based on cooperation, and something that has been used thousands and millions of years, perhaps. And something that if our economy collapses and say there is a devastating thing that happens to not only our economy but maybe the earth or our country, and we have to go back, what do we go back to?
A tribal system.
A tribal system. Mm-hmm. So it's inherent in us. It's built in. And plants have things that are built in to automatically organize. If you look at ducks flying, they always fly in this nice V formation that's very critical to their survival because they can go farther. They have a leader. The leader's no more important than any other duck, but it's designated.
He creates a draft, and then they can kind of like the bicyclists, right?
Yeah.
But when this said the plant reacts by launching a chemical defense.
Right.
This is, folks, you've heard us talk about, sad but true, a lot of foods have anti-nutrients, chemicals, defense chemicals that they use because they don't want to be eaten. They don't want their seeds to be eaten. It's survival of the fittest.
Yeah, and depending what type of insect is attacking a plant, it'll put out a pheromone of some kind, the plant will, to either attract or detract.
Or repel this predator,
right,
okay.
On a natural basis. In fact, they have it down so much that certain insects have a symbiont relationship and they'll get to eat just so much before the plant reacts. And some of them actually are encouraged because they help spread the seed or whatever.
And it may actually
like bees
create a communication to other plants.
Yeah.
Beware, caterpillars are in the area. Remarkably, plants exposed to vibration from wind or different insect sounds, none related to being eaten, okay, didn't increase their chemical defenses, folks. It was the process of being eaten. I would imagine being torn would be the same thing. That's like being eaten, like you tear a leaf off or something. They seem to tell the difference between feeding vibrations and other common sources, Interesting. So.
Well, I think also how you treat the plant when you cut it.
Yeah.
How you hold it and where it's cut. It's kind of the same as you're pruning a tree. You start hacking the top of it, then you're creating more problems. If you're doing it at the lower levels and thinning it out, letting the sun in, and making it look prettier, that's what our ancestors did. They managed the wild environment, still keeping it wild.
But holding it in reverence.
Exactly.
And showing grace, God grace and gratitude for whether you're a plant or an animal. And that's really good news for all of us, really, I think.
Yeah, so I think our thinking in society is wrong because we tend to destroy things and then build it into our image instead of nature's image or God's image, if you want, whatever. But there's a natural system going on, and these plants have problems with us because of the way we're treating them and also the way we're eating them. And I think if we go back to the more natural, primal way, then we're going to go back into the swing of getting along with what's around us and what we live on.
Exactly.
Instead of trying to change it.
So that's what I'm saying. Primal is a respect for all things.
Yeah, it really is.
All sentient beings, whether it be
well,
plant
when you're
or
thinking
animal.
about your health and what you're taking into your body kind of as a blessing that you're taking in, then you start thinking about the whole world differently. So
Remember that in the movie, The Avatar?
Yeah.
He said a blessing thanking that animal that
well,
was
just
slain
think of
for
Last of the Mohicans. That I don't know if it's the opening scene, but it's a scene where they're shooting the buck.
Right.
And then the Indian Chingachgook and his son and Nathan go down and they say thank you for
I get goosebumps
sacrificing
thinking
yourself.
about that.
It's a very cool thing.
I mean, what's happened with us? Are we taking the time? So let's all try and take a little more time and be grateful.
Yeah, and it's a season for that, isn't it?
It is.
We the holiday season for me has always been being with friends, being with my relatives, my closest relatives, and sharing the time. and taking it easy, maybe watching a little football game or hockey game or something like that. That's really what it is for me. So now that my parents are gone and now that my sister's gone, I thank God I have my friends and my wife.
Oh, sure.
Without my wife, it's like I'd be empty. So starting with that relationship to now everything that we talk about, my house, we're talking about staying there the rest of our lives in this house, and we've slowly over the last 15, 18, 20 years really added all the little things that we thought we would want if we were going to buy a house and live in it forever.
Right.
And now, the roof might be the last thing that we do, but it's a cool thing. But we also really want to be mindful of the environment. And if I've got a nice lot, I have places where I can not only
nice party space.
Yeah, nice party space. But I want to also start doing gardening and things like that as I start to
I can see it.
Maybe not slow down, but
no, there's no slowing down for you. Hey, guys, I want to bring to your attention, there's a movie coming out called Bought. Just put it on your tickler. Bought, B-O-U-G-H-T. Exposes the hidden story between vaccines, pharma, and food. Here's a quote. Your health is now brought to you by Wall Street. If you thought they hurt us with the banks, wait to see what they are doing to our health care. Jeff Hayes from Bought. So there was a preview of it. I think it's over with now. You can Google it and see if you can still see a preview. But if not, go ahead and buy the movie. Support the cause. These are people that are taking their funds to create these documentaries to educate us. And as we said, our education is the most powerful thing we can do.
Yeah, I saw the clip that we were showing before. It's on YouTube. So if you just put Bought movie clip, and it'll come up on YouTube, so you can actually see that. But yeah, this is an important subject because we're all pretty much bought into the fact that we have to go to the grocery store to get our food.
This was done by this guy Hayes. Jeff Hayes was also known for his 2012 documentary Doctored, which I actually didn't see that. I thought I've seen them all, but I've got to go catch that, which exposes how the medical and drug industry conspires to control the healthcare system. I think this is something that we should all see and support. And
what they're turning our healthcare system into is kind of like a supermarket.
Well, let me tell you something. Can I talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
I don't know about the rest of you all, but since I am self-employed, I need to get health insurance because I had private PPO insurance. I've never been on HMO. I've always paid for PPO. I usually always choose a high deductible plan because I don't call it healthcare system. I don't utilize the sick care system.
Right.
I use it for evaluation. My well woman check. I don't get them. I have my choices of what I like to use it for. And don't get me wrong, there's a place for it if you're sick or you need an emergency, but in terms of, general health, I don't. So catastrophic plans have typically worked well for me. I was shocked when I got the letter from my healthcare carrier, and I think I cover my daughters on my plan, so, I've got 3 of us, and I was paying like $400. It's gone up $20, $30 each year, obviously. But they sent me a letter and said, your plan's not ACA compliant because it doesn't have pregnancy coverage and all that. And that's the requirement. But if you want to stay with us, you can stay with us. It'll be $980 a month. So I logged on to healthcare.gov last night, and I got a cup of tea, and I was checking out that website and putting it through there. And there's some plan options, but boy, I don't know about you guys. You guys let me know if you know anything in the chat room. I feel like this thing was the biggest snow job on the American people. For the insurance companies, they're just laughing all the way to the bank. Oh, that's right, they own the banks. I forgot. But take your time and remember, if any of you guys have some thoughts or ideas on that, we only have 6 short weeks. A friend of mine is a insurance broker. He said this is going to be a mess. 6 weeks. They also booked it right after they're doing that open Medicare enrollment for seniors. We had to pass the bill to find out what's in it. Isn't that the craziest thing? I mean, you know what? The truth is stranger than fiction, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a screwed up system because, first of all, it's managed by the insurance companies. The insurance companies are the thing that's kind of standing between you and your doctor. We always say we don't want the government standing between us and the doctor, and that's for sure. We just want them to pay the doctor.
Right.
We don't want them standing in the way.
Wow.
So, I think it's smart if everybody, the whole idea of insurance in the beginning was like we get a group of people together and we figure out the cost that whatever we're protecting is going to cost us, and then we divide it amongst ourselves. Nobody says, yeah, but I want another 20% from me.
See, I like the idea of Medicare, in light of the fact that we don't have a perfect system, but, the reason this isn't going to happen is because the insurance companies won't be, they're cut out. But a Medicare for all, coverage at a basic level, human right type coverage, and then riders that people can buy. That's kind of the way they do it in some parts of Europe, Well,
with these plans, you have kind of like that, but the whole system
no,
is...
No, not really.
Well, you have different plans that have those different things in it, but that's not really the point. The point is that we have something standing between us and the health care.
Right.
And we had that before.
A vested interest.
And we had that before, in a sense, because we had choices according to our state laws, and I guess that's the way it still works.
Yeah, Oda says, how much would health care be if everyone paid their own doctor directly? That's kind of what Ron Paul was talking about.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. The problem with that is somebody who's making $6 million a year is going to have a different health care system than somebody that's making $50,000 a year.
Well, and the doctor's going to adjust accordingly, and that's what he did. That's what the old farm doctor did. Well, he knew.
That's what the old doctors did, but now we have corporations that don't do that.
It's like when they came out with that word, health maintenance organizations, there's nothing about those organizations maintaining your health. It should be HCMOs. Health cost maintenance organizations.
Everybody paying their own way is always good.
So the best insurance, guys, is to eat well, think well, be happy, stress less, feel better. Take a little insurance like Primal Edge, and take care of yourself. If we take care of ourselves, the system's going to have to change. It's just like what's happening now in these food stores. Do you notice every time you go in, you see a little more space for green stuff, for organics, for the main stores are making a little more room, and they're listening to people because they're hearing them say,
and more
I
people
want
are going to the health food stores, whether it's Whole Foods or you have your own neighborhood one like we have, which is a real fabulous place, Nature's Food Patch. But more and more people are using organic. More and more people are getting aware of what's happening. A lot more people I hear now are talking about fat, saying, boy, this healthy fat is what we really need.
Oh, yeah. I've got people on Facebook now, they're posting about, hey, I just added coconut to my coffee.
Yeah.
And, it was...
coconut oil.
Yeah, coconut oil. And I thought, my son was saying something, he tagged me in it, and I said, oh, you think your mom and Nico know something now? Of course he does. But it's just funny how, the whole world's starting to take note. I just want to comment, another comment about the health care. You would be surprised how cheap a regular doctor's visit could be. Folks, that's true. If you really actually talk to your doctor friends, and you find out what small reimbursement they actually get, when and they have to wait for the money. If you say,
I know because of my...
I'd like to pay you cash.
Yeah, I have a physical therapist, Sylvia, that works with me in my studio, and when she bills somebody like $240, she gets $80. Mm-hmm. That's and the rest goes to either Medicare or the insurance designate.
Yeah.
So the $240 is to cover the management of what you just did.
Right.
So if we cut out the management, we're going to cut everything down to a quarter, which makes it more affordable. So I say do away with the whole system. The problem is we're in our line of government and civilization, how we work, we always add things. We never take anything away. So I think we should make one law saying you can never add a law, you can only take them away.
Well, that's not what's happening now, guys, right?
You're getting more and more.
Yeah, we've got a new library happening. Every time you turn around, we've got new executive orders and laws. But we're here to help wake up ourselves and help wake up with you and smell the coffee. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah,
right?
I got some coffee right here. I'm going to drink it right now while we're on the break, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. 877-927-6648.
You know what's cool?
taking something that's good for you, something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. When you first learn something in life, you have the most questions as you begin to apply that knowledge, which is why Steve Rhodes came up with the idea for his 7-week trading program. It all begins Saturday, November 22nd, when Steve Rhodes will host a live 3-hour morning workshop where he'll teach his attendees the precise methodology he uses when placing trades. You'll then receive 6 weekly updates each Monday morning discussing the possible alerts currently setting up in the market. Steve will then bring everyone back together for a final 3-hour live workshop Friday, January 9th, where he'll discuss the methodology that went into each of the 6 weekly updates, making sure that you're confident in applying what you've learned so that you can begin navigating the market on your own. You can sign up right now for this entire 7-week trading program with Steve Rhodes for a one-time payment of only $395. If you're a Mastering Probability subscriber, then you can save an extra $100 off that price. For all the details, visit the front page of TFNN.com right now.
Up next, the Diagnostics Trading Hour with Daryl Martin here on TFNN.
Hey, welcome back. You know what, Nico? Let's end the show with some secrets from the island where people forget to die.
I love this article.
I did too. I like the picture too. It's not too bad a place to be.
No, it's a Greek island.
Caria.
Caria. And they have 6 different things that they list. The first thing is eating locally, seasonally, and sparingly. The 80, 90, and 100-year-olds they spoke with in this on this island all describe eating habits of their early years, the years of dire poverty, death, and isolation, not so much in terms of what they ate, but how little they ate, because there simply wasn't that much food. Yeah. And there's been plenty of studies that show that if you really are on a type of diet that you don't eat a lot of, is you're going to be healthier in your later years.
Yeah, the mimetic diet, the calorie restriction, shows evidence of increasing lifespan up 30%.
And if you're really satisfied with what you're eating, you're not as hungry, and it's not as important.
Okay, so did you hear what I just said?
Yeah,
just
I did.
The light bulb went off. I was thinking again. Okay. So you know one of my big hot buttons is methyl groups. What I've learned from Dr. Marshall is that we lose methyl groups with the food we eat. We were just engineered for raw food, but we eat mostly cooked food. Now the truth is, because our guts have already been damaged, most of us can't break down the raw food, as we talked earlier.
Nowadays we really need to cook our food.
We need to actually cook it. So what we need to do is we need methyl donors, and that's why I use the HCl in the activator, which is an active turmeric, lycopene. It's a methyl donor. So they figured out that we lose, guys, it takes 1,800 methyl groups to digest a meal. But if we ate it raw, it would only be 1,200. Therefore, we're losing 600 methyl groups, or 1/3 of our lifespan. So we should easily make it to 120 and be able to hang out with these guys.
One of the things I was listening to this weekend on one of the blogs from the Autoimmune Society was that if you're eating your vegetables and fruits and things raw, use them only as garnishments and things like that.
Right.
On a real small level. If you're cooking them, then you can use much more of them.
Yeah, and again, you know, these
and so that's where our spices come in.
Right, right.
You know, so.
And even like the Tibetan doctors and everything, they look at you and they go, you need to eat cabbage warm, cooked. They know that you
cook
can't
your
digest
carrots,
it.
Really important.
Cook your
Well,
carrots.
let's go through this list. The second one.
They live deliberately and they don't rush. They take a nice deep breath and enjoy life and enjoy the people that are around them, and they observe life in every moment. They're mindful.
You know, and this is really what our society gets away from with all the distractions that we have of all the computers, the phones, and the TV and the radio and everything. Very seldom do we ever just have everything silent and quiet.
Yeah, one of the 84-year-olds says, you know, there's no need to rush, just listen. You know?
Number 3 is enjoying sleep, and sleep is one of those commodities that we have less and less of, too.
Right.
We don't take the afternoon naps we used to. We don't go to bed early. We go to bed late, wake up early. It's really important.
You know, a lot of people, this is in Greece, and some people make little jokes about the Greek people that they like to just rest. Well, hey, guys, how's it working for them, you know?
That's right.
And they let things go. So let's learn to let things go. They don't hold the bad in. Well, we know that
let it roll off your back.
Yeah. Let it roll off your back like water on a duck's back.
Yeah, or let it just go over your head. And then turn to herbs for most of the minor things that ail you, and let the body heal itself.
Right. The folk pharmacopoeia is vast on the island, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. So remember, when we think of herbs as medicine, we've talked about that. We can think of them, again, as frequencies. It's really our cells need frequency. They need information. We're basically a biological computer.
And the healthier you are to begin with, in other words, once you get on this whole primal movement and find yourself, boy, I feel pretty good, I feel healthy every day.
Oh, absolutely.
What you're going to do is become more sensitive to when things move in to disrupt that, and you'll be able to use those herbs right on time, because that's where the balance is.
And
number 6 is walk. Take a walk, take a stroll. Don't go out there and pumping yourself. Just take a casual walk and you'll feel much better. Once in a while, do a sprint.
That's right.
Thanks a lot for sticking around, folks.
Have a great weekend.
And we're going to be at a little function tomorrow at my house, which is the Bradenton
Primal Meetup.
Primal Meetup.
Yeah, Bradenton Group. We'll look forward to seeing you guys this weekend.
Yep.
Take care. See you next week, guys.
Bye-bye.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.